Behind me is the Volkswagen Tiguan, and I'm going to tell you all you need to know about it. I'm Tom Jervis, and you're watching Auto Express. Right, straight off the bat, I just want to say it, I love what Volkswagen's doing with styling nowadays. Everyone's trying to make their cars, you know, aggressive and sporty, and VW is like, no, we're not going to do any of that. We're just going to put a nice little smiley face at the bottom. That sits below a set of LED headlights, and these are the upgraded ID Light Digital Matrix, whatever technology ones. And basically, what that really means is you get the light bar in the middle, which comes towards the VW logo, and very unfortunately, kind of looks like a monobrow in this regard. Moving down the side, this car here has got diamond cut 19-inch alloy wheels. This is the Elegance model, which sits one below the top spec R-Line model, which forgoes the smiley face in favour of all that aggressive styling that I was talking about. But what I really do like is this turquoise paintwork. Now, it doesn't look that great in this weather, but trust me, earlier on when the sun was shining, it looked absolutely fantastic. Moving down the side of the car, you've got some SUV style body cladding, and then on the top you can see SUV roof rails to give it that 4x4 look. And then moving around the back, of course, as is tradition nowadays, we have another light bar, of course we do. And then below that, we've also got a Tiguan script, in case you don't know what you're looking at. While we wouldn't call VW a true premium brand, it's definitely a step up from the likes of Hyundai and Toyota. And stepping inside, it really does quite feel like that. You've got leatherette here on the dashboard, and you've got ambient lighting shining through. And these seats, for example, yes, they are Elegance exclusive seats, but I do like the suede and the white piping. I also like down here, you've got a little knob with a screen on it that you can turn up the volume and turn that down before we get a copyright strike. And you can also press it in and change the drive modes. This is something that you can do on the screen. Speaking of which, you get a 12.9-inch touchscreen as standard, as well as a 10 or so inch digital driver's display. The one we've got here is, if you pay £1,000, you get a 15-inch screen, which, to be honest, I think it's a little bit pointless, as 12.9 inch is still pretty big anyway. Our verdict on the screen? It's okay. It's pretty responsive, nice bright graphics, and you can configure widgets on the screen to as you like. Our main problem are these touch-sensitive climate controls. While you're driving along, they can be really difficult to press. We do prefer a physical button. A little bit better, on the other hand, is the digital driver's display. This is really configurable. You can show full screen maps, and is exactly what you want out of that type of thing. In terms of storage, if you lift up this little flap here, you can got 2 slots to charge wirelessly your mobile phone. Through here, you've got felt-lined door pockets, so you don't hear things rattling around. And then, of course, you've got 2 cup holders. There's a little bit more storage in there. Sitting in the back seat of the Tiguan, and it's pretty comfortable. I've got a good amount of headroom. I'm around 5'10" for reference. I've got the seat in front of me in my driving position, and I've got an okay amount of leg room, but I could do with a little bit more. There's a little pouch to put whatever you want in there, and 2 more up here, which I suppose are supposed to be for mobile phones, although anything from the past 5 years is probably a little bit too big to go in there. Volkswagen hasn't quite scrimped out back here. You've got a little bit of ambient lighting. I'm not sure if you can see under there. You've also got some individual climate controls for the rear passengers. And then underneath that, you've got 2 USB-C ports. I just wanted to point out that you pull down the armrest here and wait, there's no cup holders, but pull this tab and you have the world's biggest cup holder. I mean, I suppose you've got a little slot here for an iPad or something, but yeah, unnecessarily large. Perhaps the cream on the cake is you can do this. Recline the rear seats, but it does impact boot space. Speaking of which, opening up the powered tailgate, this comes as standard on match models and above, and you'll see, well, the boot's pretty large, isn't it? You could probably fit 2 large suitcases in here. VW says there's 650 odd litres of storage space, which is probably more than most families will ever need. Underneath the boot floor here, you'll see that you've got more storage space. If you go for the plug-in hybrid model, which we'll talk about later, you lose that space under there, so that's just something worth noting. But down the side, you've got extra storage and some nets here if you want to tie things down. Perhaps the most handy feature is, let's say if you've got something massive and I don't want to have to walk around and put the seats down, pull this lever here and ta-da! The seats fold down for you. Now let's talk engines. VW gives you a choice of petrol, plug-in hybrid and even diesel engines. But the one we've got here is our favourite. It's a 1.5 litre petrol mild hybrid with 148 brake horsepower. Yes, it's no sports car, but it should give you all the power you'll need in a car like this, plus decent fuel economy. If you're a company car driver, however, you're probably going to want to look at one of the plug-in hybrids. VW says you can do up to 77 miles just using electric power, which means you could probably go to work and back without using a drop of fuel. So, what's our verdict on the Volkswagen Tiguan? Well, if you're looking for a sports utility vehicle, this isn't the car for you. However, if premium materials and practicality are top on your list, you definitely should consider this. The only problem? The Hyundai Tucson does everything this Tiguan does for quite a bit less money.